key transportation hub connecting
Good evening, Nigeria. Welcome to the issues. I am Jerry Apelion, and alongside our team of esteemed analysts, we are here to bring you the truth behind the headlines. Tonight, the nation faces a crossroads. The Southeast is under lockdown, a powerful declaration from the Biafra Republic government in exile. Why? Because Simon Ekpa, their prime minister, is facing terrorism charges in Finland. This court case could change everything. But that's not all. President Bola Tinubu is moving forward with a massive multi-billion-dollar loan request, even as the country grapples with economic hardship. And Senate Chief Whip Orji Uzo Kalu, he is blaming the people themselves for the suffering, saying Nigerians have become too lazy to cope. Then, in a forceful message at the Asset Recovery Summit, Tinubu vows zero tolerance for corruption, promising that every kobo of looted wealth will be recovered and used for development. These stories collide tonight, and the questions they raise are too big to ignore. This is the issues where the nation demands answers. Stay with us. After the short break, we'll dig deeper into these topics and more. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. We start off today where the Biafra Republic government in exile has announced a 2-day lockdown across Nigerian Southeast on May 29 and 30, 2025, in solidarity with its Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, who is scheduled to appear in a Finnish court on to honor Ekpa and reaffirm the Biafran independence cause. Finnish authorities arrested Ekpa in November 2024, accusing him of inciting violence and financing terrorism via social media campaigns that allegedly targeted civilians and Nigerian authorities. The group has also accused the NAFDAC of economic persecution following the sealing of traders' shops in Onitsha and the imposition of steep fines. Additionally, the group issued a stern warning to the Ohanese leadership, urging them to cease actions perceived as undermining Biafra's independence effort. Meanwhile, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, condemned the timing of Ekpa's court date, calling it a distraction from the ongoing trial of their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and alleging foreign conspiracies to delegitimize the Biafran struggle. Today, I'm delighted to be joined here in the studio. We have Mr. Peter Adasike. Mr. Adasike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, joining us virtually from Port Harcourt on the issues tonight is Dr. Eric Thomas. He is a public affairs analyst, a consultant, obstetrician, and gynecologist. Good evening. Great to have you join us on the issues. Good evening, Dr. Eric. All right, it seems he's not ready to talk to us. And of course, also expected to join us virtually is a leftist talking about Ojo Charles. He's a deputy coordinator at Edo Civil Society Organization. He's a political commentator and a public affairs analyst. I don't know whether he's with us, but eventually when he joins in, our producers will let us know. Okay, let me start out with Mr. Nosike. Taking a look at the situation, given the rising influence of the exile-based movement like the Ekpa's group, how should Nigeria and the international community respond to non-state actors inciting domestic unrest from abroad?
Well, for me, I'm not seeing any rising influence. I've not seen any rising influence. Simon Ekpa is nobody in the Southeast. Simon Ekpa has his own Biafra on the social media. When people who are talking about Biafra come south, I'm sure that Simon Ekpa will not be anywhere to be found. So there's nothing like a rising influence. And the person that we know that is fighting for self-determination is Nnamdi Kanu. And currently, he is being persecuted by the Nigerian state. Simon Ekpa committed that's an act of terrorism, and he's going to court to answer for it. Because as long as I know, all his statements, all his utterances confirms to the word terrorism, because of responsibility to the murder of policemen, of the murder of soldiers. Those are what terrorists. So for me, Simon Ekpa is a terrorist. And it is only criminal elements in the Southeast that are identifying with him. It's only criminal elements in the Southeast that are identifying with him. He has confessed that what he is doing is skating, that he's a content creator. So a real soldier doesn't deny what he is doing. A real soldier doesn't deny his people. Understand? Using the Greek philosopher Socrates as an example. When he was thrown into prison, and the prison superintendent called him, said, "Come, I will help you to escape." Socrates said, "No, if I escaped, it means I'm not convinced in what I am. If I'm convinced, if I escape, it means I'm a coward." That he will stay in the prison and face the penalty, which is a death sentence. So Socrates was in prison until they brought a hemlock to him, and he drank it and died. That's how heroes die. That's how great people die. Great people don't begin to change statements. You were shouting Biafra yesterday. You were calling yourself the Prime Minister of Biafra in diaspora. And today you say no, that what all you are doing is content creation. For me, that's an act of cowardice. And I have been saying it over and over that what he's doing is duping people. What Simon Ekpa is doing is defrauding people, using a Biafran struggle to make money, which is the exact thing that Asare Dokobo, Ateke Tom, and Tompono did, using all the problems of Niger Deltans to become millionaires and billionaires, which is wrong, which is very, very wrong. So Simon Ekpa is a terrorist, and he is going to court to face the law.
All right, we understand that Dr. Eric Thomas and, of course, the other virtual guest talking about the leftist, Ojo Charles, who's the deputy coordinator of those civil society. I want to start with Dr. Eric Thomas. Welcome to the issues.
Yeah.
Good evening, Dr. Eric.
Good evening.
All right. Okay, before I go over to the man from Edo State, let me take it up with you, Dr. Eric. Taking a look at this situation, is the 2-day lockdown a legitimate act of civil disobedience or a strategic manipulation that endangers civilian livelihoods and security in the Southeast?
I've always said it. In fact, maybe before I start talking, you would have probably known my answer. But let me say it for the upton time and for the benefit of those who have not been listening to me about this, who have not been opportune to hear me talk about all these IPOB, Ekpa, and the Kano or stuff like that. Let me say now, any struggle, we are fighting for is a fraud, is criminal. If you have the love of people to the extent that you are fighting for them and you claim you can lay down your life for them, why do you kill them? Why do you inconvenience them? Why do you force them against their will? You must have a situation where it has to be organic. Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Eric.
Okay, fine. A situation where it's organic. Let people follow you. You don't force people. And let me tell you, or tell us, I know from my experience in this world, no matter how noble your actions, acts, talks will be, not everybody will support you. Not everybody. Some might not even support you just because of envy. Some because they are already evil and they don't want anything that's going to be put aright because they benefit from confusion. Then some, which will be majority, will not support you. Are fighting for the people, Biafra. They want every Dick and Harry to support them compulsorily, and that I say no. So I don't see anything reasonable about civil disobedience, blah blah blah, all those sort of things. No, I have always said it that people like Nnamdi Azikiwe, they fought for our independence, which is even higher than what we are doing now here, without lifting a finger in arms. They use the pen and the brain. But when you see all these people doing what they are doing, no way. It's in their own selfish interest. Own interest, and the interest is selfishness. So that's all I can say there. They don't have to force any
risk of fragmentation between these two groups, because now it looks like one is on the part of
What is Breji?
yes, is Biafra movement in exile. Yes,
I don't know what is Breji.
okay,
Breji is a concussion from the social
media. Okay,
understand me?
okay.
Breji
From Ekpa's group. Let's now put it as Ekpa's group.
Breji is a name that they are using to defraud people. Now understand me? Breji is a name that they used to defraud their people. So it doesn't. There's Simon Ekpa told you that he's a content creator.
So it's more like a content.
But for me, he's a criminal. Simon Ekpa is a criminal. Look, most of these people don't know how this issue started. They don't know how these issues started. And they're assuming that there's time. I have given you the real history of all these things. When Mossab was being formed in 1999, in 1998-1999 at Okota, Christian Wachuku Street, I was there. 1998-1999, I was among those that was telling Owazurike, remove this word sovereign. Remove this word sovereign because it's going to cause a problem. Owazurike said no, that the stronger or the worse, the better. That it was in Christian Wachuku's house in Okota that this argument was going on. Understand? Owazurike used to call me his SA media. Understand me? he was telling me now that I'm with him, when Biafra materializes, that I'll be Minister of Information. That it is the people around him that that are going to be given positions. Understand? So, but he said I should buy my membership card, I should buy my identity. I told him, Chief, I did not pay to become a Nigerian, therefore I cannot pay to become a Biafran. Because as a journalist, I'm looking for strong stories to sell my paper. Understand me? So that is why I was going to see him. That was why I was going to see Mfenda. Understand me? That was why, that's how Asari and Dokobo, I take a turn, and others become my friends as a journalist, because strong stories sell paper. And these people, then there's one other guy, National Publicity Secretary of a John National Congress, Eva.
Joseph Eva.
Joseph Eva. These are my very good friends, because Joseph Eva calls Obasanjo all kinds of names. Understand? If you interview Joseph Eva, you need to dilute what he's saying. Understand me? Yes. So these people become my friends, not that I believe in what they are doing, but because I need a strong materials to put on the front page of the newspaper. I was in the Sun newspaper at that time. And the Femi Adesina, who was the editor then, would tell you, Peter, if you don't get a front page story tomorrow, don't come to the office. Understand me? So because of that, you have to make all these people your friends, so that they will give you tough things that you can give to the editor. So from day one, I know that Ralph Owazurike was not sincere. How did Owazurike form Mossab? 1997-98, Owazurike founded the Igbo Casino Chiefs in Lagos State. Because Owazurike and Rochas Okori were Ojuku's food boys. When Ojuku was living in Ikoyi, Queen's Drive, Ikoyi. Understand me? So they were Ojuku's food boys. So when he formed the National Igbo Casino Chiefs, they were going everywhere, crowning Igbo, and making money. So 1998, Owazurike was sacked for embezzling 380,000 naira. Most people don't know this story. 1998, Ralph Owazurike was sacked from Igbo Casino Chiefs for embezzling 380,000 naira. He's a lawyer. He read law in New Delhi University in India. So he has no job. The next thing now is to form a Mossab as a way of making money. That time, internet was not much. What he does is, if we write story for him, he will cut it, scan it, and send to Nigerians abroad. I'm telling you that Nigeria state is against us. This is evidence. He was cutting newspapers then, understand, and scanning and sending to Nigerians abroad. Understand? So from the beginning, I know what is going on.
So are you saying that there's a hijack of the struggle by these various bodies?
No, everybody is looking for ways of making money,
including Nnamdi Kanu.
Everybody is looking for a way of making money.
And the detriment of the legitimacy of fighting for Biafra?
Do you know in 2006, Igbo women wrote to Queen Elizabeth, understand, about the harassment of Igbos. When it got to Buckingham Palace, the secretary of Buckingham Palace stamped and signed, acknowledged. Owazurike, that petition got back to Owazurike. Owazurike was showing people that Queen Elizabeth has accepted Biafra see her stamp and signature. I know all these games.
So you're saying all of this struggle is all deceptive.
Understand
So
me?
Nigerians or Biafrans should not take them seriously.
If Nigeria, look, if a referendum is held today,
okay,
over 80% of Igbos will vote to stay in Nigeria.
So what's all this agitation for? Why does it look like two individuals can come up, set up a group, and a lot of people are following them?
There's no two individuals.
Okay.
There's no two individuals. Simon Ekpa is a scammer. Simon Ekpa is a scammer.
So what's the job of the Easterners from identifying him as a scammer and maybe exposing him as a scammer?
it is gullible people that are, many of them don't have the information that I have. Many of them don't have the information that, another of the time, if Owazuruke's wife's name is Ngozi, anytime Owazuruke is arrested, I'm the first person she calls. But they don't have all this information. Understand me? They don't have. So Nigerians are fond of using people's problems to make money. That's how Asari Dokobo becomes rich. 2002, 3, 4, 5. Anytime Asari Dokobo comes to Lagos, he calls me. Understand? Because all of us thought that we are fighting for better Nigeria. But I don't know that some people are using it as an opportunity of becoming rich. Understand? So many Bible said people suffer for lack of knowledge. So there's no way with what I know that Simon Ekpa will say Biafra. I told Owazuruke I did not pay to become a Nigerian. Why must I pay to become a Biafran?
Very interesting. All right, let me now go to Dr. Eric Thomas, who is standing by. Taking a look at the situation, what does Simon Ekpa's trial in Finland say about the growing transnational nature of separatist movement? And how should African states like Nigeria prepare for this kind of digital age activism?
I didn't get that.
Yeah, we're taking a look at Simon Ekpa's trial in Finland. What does this say about the growing transnational nature of separatist movement? Because now Simon Ekpa can go to Finland and start making pronouncements, and it will be carried out in Nigeria by non-state actors. How should countries like Nigeria prepare for this kind of digital age activism?
Well, it's difficult to say because one thing leads to another. Like you saw what happened to Nnamdi Kanu's case. With this interaction they are having, because of the age of internet, I think some governments are beginning to agree that they should assist one another, just like Kenya did to Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. For now, the world is learning. If people are becoming malicious with it and breaking the law of both the land, the mother country, and then the foreign country, I think they will take a step. Like Ekpa is happening to Ekpa now. So they will now say that we are now in an era where everybody has to be very, very careful, and governments are going to be careful too. So I believe that when the issue becomes a problem, there will be a solution to it, and the solution will be simple. We are talking about CIA now, and then security situation, because you can't stay in another country and then instigate mayhem in another country, and we expect law enforcement or a responsible government we also have the menace that such situation will cause. But as a matter of fact, it is a threat to global peace. That somebody will stay somewhere where he thinks that he has more freedom of speech, and then to be undermining his own country or even another country, it will not hold water for long. And the example is being shown. Even the Ekpa and then the Kanu, they are seeing it, and that is what is telling on them now.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Nosike, because there was also the fact that IPOB is not happy that the trial is almost on the same day with Nnamdi Kanu's, and they're saying this is a distraction, and taking a look at the lockdown and so on and so forth. The conflict of interest.
No.
Okay.
It's a coincidence, understand? It's a coincidence. I'm from Mumwa here, understand me? And go and check the history of Igbo people, understand? About Umuahia people, understand? So the issue is Nigeria government and Finnish government are not working hand in hand. We were told as far back as December that Simon Ekpa's trial will begin in May. And these are Methodists, understand? These Westerners, they are Methodists. They follow methods, they follow process. So it's just a coincidence that it happened. Nothing concerned them with 30th of May, which is Remembrance Day. So it is but for knockdown in the East, there's not going to be any knockdown in the East tomorrow.
How sure?
There's not going to be any knockdown in the East tomorrow.
Normally it was on Mondays, and tomorrow is Thursday. That's looking like a different...
There's not going to be any knockdown in the East tomorrow.
How confirmed is this information?
You will use this and confirm. You say I'm rising influence. I was the public secretary for Ohaneze Ndigbo, Southwest as a whole, for 7 years.
Okay, and there's even a warning to the Ohaneze Ndigbo by IPOB.
I know how Igbos think. That's the most important thing. I know how Igbos think. So there's not going to be any knockdown in the East tomorrow. If there should be any knockdown, it's going to be on the 30th. Ordinarily, tomorrow is public holiday. So you're not going to expect people. So when people don't go to work or don't go to school, it is not that they are obeying what that I want to put this on the table. Tomorrow is May 29.
Okay.
Understand me? So when people don't go to work or don't go to school, it is not that they're obeying what Simon Ekpa people said, just because tomorrow is a public holiday.
Okay.
Then on the 30th, understand me, which is a Remembrance Day, Biafran soldiers are supposed to be remembered, but it must not be compulsory. That's my stand. It must not be anything compulsory on earth. It's a violation of our fundamental human rights. Understand me? Even going to church is not compulsory. Going to a mosque is not compulsory. That's why I criticized against this compulsory voting, which I told you that it would never work.
Yeah.
And they have withdrawn it.
Yeah.
So Biafran soldiers are supposed to be remembered because they put up gallant fight. They are heroes. What they did in 3 years, Nigerian army cannot do it in 30 years. What Nigerian soldiers did in 3 years, using coconut water to fly aeroplane, Nigerian soldiers cannot do it in 30 years. So those guys are supposed to be remembered. But I'm against making anything compulsory. It infringes on our fundamental human rights. If you say nobody will come out, what if somebody is sick? Understand me? What if somebody is sick? So the Biafran soldiers are supposed to be remembered.
Okay.
But enforcing it that everybody must stay in the house and struggling against it.
All right, let me go back to this conversation because of time, where Senate Chief Whip and former Abia State Governor Orji Uzor Kalu has strongly defended President Bola Tinubu's economic reforms, blaming Nigerians' current hardship on what he described as a widespread culture of laziness and reliance on easy money. Speaking at the National Assembly, Kalu praised Tinubu for being the first post-independence leader to take bold, long overdue steps such as fuel subsidy removal and foreign exchange rate unification. Kalu argued that Nigerians had grown used to speculative gains and unproductive income sources, and that while the reforms are painful, they are necessary to reset the economy. He maintained that early signs of macroeconomic recovery are emerging despite ongoing public discontent. In parallel, President Tinubu has submitted a request to the Senate seeking approval for a massive foreign borrowing plan amounting to over $21.5 billion and so on. And these funds are intended for national infrastructure development in healthcare, talking about poverty alleviation, food security, job creation, and skills training spanning all 36 states and the FCT. Let me now go over to Dr. Eric. Dr. Eric, is Orji Kalu's claim that Nigerians' economic woes stem from laziness and easy money a fair assessment or a deflection from government accountability in managing public suffering?
I will answer this question with two-pronged steps. One, when Orji Uzor Kalu was a governor, 1999 to 1907.
2007.
Sorry, to 2007. Please, how many micro whatever did he establish in Abia State? How many youths did he empower? Now he's saying that youths are lazy. Oh, I don't know. These things can only happen in crimes like this. And such a man will talk and everybody. In fact, you journalists, I sometimes I want to blame you people. People should help us. Sift some information, sift them. Make sure that the world doesn't hear those things that those urges of journalists should have done some job and kill those such words, because the idea is certain. This is something that people can go to the streets and protest. It's like adding salt to injury. You people are destroying the generation, both the present and the future, and you turn us and tell them that they are destroying themselves in what way? When I heard that, in fact, it's because I respect your station. I would have decided not to even answer that question. Because the question brings up some kind of, in fact, waste me some bitterness. But putting into consideration that we are talking to public, we don't want to sound like we're inciting, but nobody can stop me from getting angry over rubbish talks. You are killing the people and you're telling the people that they are killing themselves. Now look at what is happening in Abia State. In fact, I don't respect them. And I don't care how I say about it, what I say about them. Look at how many years has the present governor there stayed? 2 years. This man talking stayed there for 8 years. He brought another person against all us that stayed for another 8 years, 16 years. What did they do? Looting and taking away. They went away with it. They cannot that they are lazy. You know, 1999 till now, a child born in 1999 to now, is he not a graduate, university graduate? Will he not be married by now, male or female, and live his life? But those are the people that they destroyed. And you are coming back to tell them that they are lazy because they didn't go to the streets. I will not advise that we should go to the streets, but let them not push us to go.
All right, let me now go to Mr. Noski. How would you respond to Oji Carlos' comments? I even remember he even said that it's time for the APC to take over Abia State, that whatever Oti is doing is none of his business, that he cannot be an active member of the APC and Abia State is being ruled by another party.
Well, I am from Abia State, Umuahia to be precise. Understand? I worked in the Sun newspaper, which is owned by Oji Ozokando, for 20 years. But the problem that Abia State is facing is because of Oji Ozokando. For his 8 years, he laid no foundation. For 8 years that Oji Ozokando was governor of Abia, he did not lay a single foundation. It was his misgovernance. It was his incompetency that made the other governors to fail. Because when the first person did not lay any foundation, there's nothing that the second person would do. Because government is a continuum. Understand me? This governor may lay foundation, another one will come and put the different blocks. The third one will come and put the zinc. Then a house has been built.
Was it because he was still the godfather in those days, in those years that the other governors were coming from behind after he left?
So the issue is this: he laid no foundation for others to build on. So it is under the XOT that Abia begin to witness what looks like governance for the first time. So the 24 years of Ojo Zokado, Theodoji, and Okezie Ekpa were years of no cost, years of waste. And the Ojo Zokado was responsible because there was no foundation for others to build on. So now saying that Nigerians are lazy because Tinubu said programs are working. Tinubu will be 2 years in office tomorrow, isn't it? When you appraise him, he will not score up to 25%. When you appraise Tinubu's 2 years in office, it is only a generous teacher that will give Tinubu 25%. Because the only way to measure government is the quality of life of the people. And when you measure the quality of life of Nigerians, that you know that they are worse off. Understand me? So he is only saying because he is benefiting from the government. His allowances are coming, his salaries are coming, his oversight functions are coming. So he doesn't feel what the ordinary Nigerian masses are feeling. Understand me? So that's why he is saying what he is saying. And we know how he won his 2023 election. Understand? We know how because Abia people don't want him. He even tried to bring his brother, Onana Ozokando, to be governor of Abia. Understand me? He even tried to bring his governor, his junior and brother, Nana Ojo Zokando, to be governor. A kind of that to build an empire in Abia.
A dynasty.
Who are you?
All right, let me now go over to Dr. Eric. Because now he has made a lot of interesting comments, and taking a look at his comments, are there verifiable indicators that support Carlos' claim of early signs of economic recovery? Or is this political optimism out of touch with realities on ground? Hello, Dr. Eric. Are you with us? All right, Dr. Eric, we can't really hear you. Dr. Eric, please go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you now, loud and clear. I was just
Okay,
asking.
I was off. Please,
Okay,
can you say something?
yeah, I was just asking how taking a look at, are there verifiable indicators that support Carlos' claim of early signs of economic recovery? Or is this political optimism out of touch with realities on the ground?
It is laughable. Laughable because they know. It's not as if they don't know. Is it not in 2 years that the present governor came in that Aba has changed, for instance? People are happy. It is just that these people say many things and then they think that people are gullible. Yes, to some extent, we are gullible. Nigerians, including me.
Hello, Dr. Eric.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead one more time, please.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, we are Nigerians, including me. There's a little bit of it was network. Okay,
Okay.
so the Nigerians are gullible, including me. That is why these people can say things like this. But you journalists should be asking them some tough questions. Like I'm not comparing, but let me say like Arise TV. You see, those Arise TV, those kind of people cannot go and make such free statements to them because they will pin them down with facts. You cannot be hurting people and then telling them that they are fools. There is no indicator and there is no indication. They have done real nothing. Nothing. It's just benefiting from it. Look at a man that was crying like a baby. What is wrong? What is the matter with Nigerians? People like that man should not, their cases should not be news at all. Like somebody was in the Ojus of Kanu. I can never take his matter seriously. It is because you are asking me on radio. That's why I'm talking. If you were talking to me on private basis, I will tell you, please, can we shift topic? But anyway, we still say it. I am very, very sad. You see, I feel very hot. The point is that they are the destroyers of present generation and future generation. And people are not talking, but one day, people will hold them accountable.
All right, to ease the anger of Dr. Eric, let's move to the next conversation because of time. Let's try and see if we can use some few minutes to look at President Bola Tinubu, who has reiterated his administration's firm commitment to fighting corruption, vowing that there will be no safe haven for stolen public funds. And he was speaking through a representative at the Asset Recovery Summit in Abuja. The president described asset recovery as not only a legal responsibility, but a moral obligation to rebuild public confidence and rechannel looted funds into national development. And of course, it goes on and on that say that all the cobbles will be returned and so on and so forth. Let me now go to Mr. Adosike. How credible is President Tinubu's anti-corruption rhetoric in light of lingering concerns about the transparency and accountability of his own political circle?
One, this government cannot talk of morality because darkness cannot fight darkness. That is number one. Darkness cannot fight darkness. So morality is not in their dictionary. Somebody who say take it, grab it and run. What business has he with morality? So just a paper presentation, just write anything, go there and read and go your way. It's just practicing preaching what you know that you cannot practice. Understand? Because Osho Money has said whatever you do, once you cross over to APC, all your sins are forgiven. Understand? So, and that is what they have been practicing. That's why Ifeanyi Okowa has to defect to APC. That's why somebody like Akpabio, who has all the cases in the world against him in EFCC, was made the number 3 citizen of the country. Understand me? So, mentioning that word morality to me is an abomination. It shouldn't come from this Tinubu administration.
All right, let me now go to you, Dr. Eric. Do you believe in this sudden fights against corruption coming from the Tinubu's government? And can we look forward to the end of corruption under this APC? Taking a look at the circle of people around the president and even the political party itself.
I will start answering this question with jiggling a little bit. Let him start with himself. It is only when he brings out all his assets, both the one he collected in Lagos and the one they are doing today, awarding contracts, huge contracts to themselves. When he has done that and he brings it up, then we will now begin to think that we will take him seriously. Is it a government that initially I used to think that Jonathan's government was the worst, the most corrupt government. But I can see that this is superlative, Tinubu's own. From Tinubu down to wherever, even the janitors in the office, they are corrupt. Let them, the point is that they cannot fight corruption. The man is just doing that thing because he has seen that there is a bigger force that is trying to sweep him out of the office or opposing him, the coalition. He's seen it. So they are just giving the sugar-coated stories. My dear, Nigerian leaders are not sincere. And because we don't hold them accountable, then they begin to turn us all around. There is never. Buhari did it when Buhari came. Oh, he's going to fight. He was trying to hit here and there. He met Desiani and all that. At the end of the day, what happened?
All right,
everybody turned.
Dr. Eric.
So the thing, they cannot do it. A corrupt man cannot fight a corrupt person.
All right, Dr. Eric, we'll have to go. I want to say thank you very much for being a part of the issues, as well as
You're welcome.
Mr. Anaski, it's a pleasure having you as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, that's all for tonight's edition of the issues. We hope this conversation has brought clarity to the challenges facing our nation and sparked the questions we all need to ask. I am Jerry Apelioi, speaking with our esteemed analyst, and thank you for joining us and holding the conversation that others shy away. Good night, Nigeria.